All right, guys, important topic today, super important. This is like, if you guys take anything, I'd love for you guys to take this one. This is like the most important. It's the hardest thing. I think it's what everybody struggles with the most, because this is adversity, this is struggle. Everybody goes through this. But what you guys need to understand is how we deal with this is everything, everything. Dealing with good times is easy. Everyone knows how to deal with good times. But it's when adversity hits, which is a daily occurrence when we're talking about our own minds and we're talking about our own self-doubt and self-sabotage. It comes every day. No one's had one day like free from that. So it comes every day. This is so important. I really want you guys to understand this, because like even last week I spoke to some of you guys on an individual level, and I'll do that more with some others. And this is obviously all the things that we talk about all the time. And when you guys are, especially in this company, you guys are moving fast, things are happening fast. There's a lot of stuff to do, right? You guys have got a lot on, and a lot of things that come in the way that you don't necessarily like, things that aren't planned pop up, and it's hard. So to move forward, to carry on achieving that highest self that we talk about, being the highest version of ourselves, this is going to be the most important thing, because this is the only thing that stops us from doing all the things that we want to do. It's the only thing. If this was removed, which is impossible to be removed, but it's not impossible to deal with it correctly, then you can get everything you want. You can feel how you want to feel. You can be who you want to be. But it's going to be the self-sabotage that we speak about all the time that prevents us from getting there. So how we deal with this is absolutely everything. But it's so good to understand people and understand people when you put them through hard times, when you make them do hard things, when things don't go well. Like any business partner I would ever choose, if I had to choose a team of my own, I just want to know how they deal with things when adversity hits. That's all I want to know. I don't care how they are when things are great, when everyone's doing well, when everyone's making money, when everyone's progressing. I couldn't care less, because I've learned throughout my football career, when things are going well on the pitch, everyone was good. Everyone's a good player. When it's sunny outside, when the fans are cheering and they're behind you, that's easy. Very easy. Everyone can do it. But then when it turns, when shit hits the fan, that's when you find out who someone really is. That's when you find out who you can trust. And so you can find out someone's belief systems. You can find out their ambitions. And if they have ambitions, it exposes everything. It exaggerates who they are. So the good and the bad exaggerate who you are. If things are really well, and people, you probably hear it around money, like money doesn't make you happy, it doesn't make you unhappy, but it exposes who you are. So if you're a happy person, you just be more happy. If you're an unhappy person, you just be more unhappy. You'll find out ways, you have more resources to go and make yourself more unhappy. So that's all it is. So how to deal with adversity, who you are when adversity hits, that's who you are. If you really want to know who you are, it's going to be through your bad time. So think about yourself. How do you react when things go well? Are you happy with how you react? What's your behavior like? What's your belief systems like? Most people, they have good habits, and then when they don't feel good, their habits drop. Basically, that's backwards. Like when times are bad, that's when you have to tighten your habits. That's when habits have to get better. Otherwise, you're not gonna overcome it properly. So who you are, your belief systems, the thoughts you have, the emotions you feel, and the work you do when things aren't going the way you want them to, when things aren't going as planned, that's when you find out who you are. That's when them habits have to be the tightest. When we talk about mental, physical, and spiritual, that's where you have to be the most disciplined when things aren't going well. I'll explain why, and it'll make sense. So firstly, we all understand, that's why we've got the law of polarity. We remember that, right? We've gone over that a few times. The law of polarity just meaning that everything has its duals, everything has its opposites. One can't exist without the other. You got joy, you got confidence, you got success, you got to have pain, you got to have failure. That is what it is. You can't escape it. We've got high frequency when things feel amazing, when you feel great, when you feel like you can take on the world, when you feel like you have full belief in yourself. That's high frequency. Low frequency is the opposite. When you sabotage, when you have doubt, when you're stressed, when you fear, you can't escape those. No matter where you are, no matter what you have, no matter what situation you're in, no matter who you know, you can't escape negativity. Impossible. It's just universal law. It's just us as an entity. Everything has a negative seed, everything has a positive seed. To have a positive seed, has to have a negative seed. So you can't escape it, but you can deal with it in a certain way. You can deal with it correctly. You can deal with it the right way to create the reality that you want, or you can deal with it the wrong way. Depends, you have to choose. But it exposes who you are, for sure. So if you're not happy within yourself, if you have a lot of insecurities, when adversity hits, your insecurities will just flare up. They'll be uncontrollable. You guys, I'm sure you guys have seen that within your own lives, within yourself, within the people around you. It exposes everything. So why we do hard things, why you must make yourself do hard things, and why if you ever want to find out who someone is, if you want to test your relationship, bad things have to happen. You got to go through certain shit that brings it out of them. Otherwise, it would never happen. So that's why, like, just when we're talking here and we're like confronting people sometimes, or we're making you get up early and go to the gym, it's just to figure out what people are like. Like I've probably learned a lot about every single one of you here than, you know, maybe these guys would have even known about you guys. And it's for yourself as well. It's like, oh shit, I've got to wake up at 5. How do you react in those moments? Like everything's just about self-reflection, self-awareness. So you understand what your mind is like in certain situations. And then when you kind of align it to other things that you want, then you can kind of notice where you're falling short. Shit, I find it hard to get myself to get up and go to the gym. But I want to be healthy, I have to go to the gym. But I can't get myself to. So you've just exposed an alignment issue. You struggle to do that, but that's what you want. That's where the pain comes from, guys. That you want something, but you're not doing what it takes to get there. So you're living in pain all the time. You're living in underachievement all the time. But because you're not doing the things, but some of them are subtle. So I want to try and highlight these within you so you understand, you're like, shit, like, I'm not where I'm supposed to be. I'm not as disciplined as I need to be in order to get what I want, to get. I'm not taking enough risks. I'm not pushing myself enough. This is what someone here looks like who's got, to a degree, the life that I want or something that I want, and that's what he does. And I'm like way below here. So like, save yourself the pain. Either choose that you want it and start doing the things that it takes to get there, or just stop wanting it. And then just live where you are. That's cool, like there's no right or wrong. But you have to choose. Otherwise you're just gonna suffer. Okay, I want this, I want it so desperately, but I'm not doing the work, so you're never gonna get it. So you're gonna always be in a state of not having what you want. Rather than be like, you know, I'm cool where I am, everything I do is like, I'm okay with. I'm not trying to push anymore, then at least that's better. That's better than the first one. So the way you react to things exposes who you are, especially adversity. But you gotta understand, when we talk about mental and how the world works, is what you think and what you feel becomes your reality. So if in adversity, you're continuously thinking and you get into negative scenarios and you like latch onto that and make that your whole identity, then that's what's gonna become your reality. So if you don't like your reality now, if you don't like what you see, if you don't like how you perceive things, it's only because you react to adversity in a poor way. So you just continue that. That's now the lens that you look through life with. You look through it with fear, you look through it with doubt, you look through it with stress. So when like workload increases, your go-to is what? It's gonna be negative shit. It's gonna be all the things you don't want. And it's just like a continuation over and over and over again until you break it and start changing the lens that you guys perceive life through. I hope you're enjoying the video. The fact that you're here shows me that you're into self-development. You want to become the best version of yourself. You want to overcome all your insecurities, all your problems, and you want to reach the highest version of you to create the life that you want. So I'm here for you. This is what I do. If you guys need any questions answered, you need me at all, the best place to contact me is on Instagram. DM me on Insta, I get back to all the questions, all the requests, and I will answer you always. This is what I do, this is what I live for. So hit me up and let's do this. So how reality works, for me to get you guys to really understand this, I want to give you guys an analogy about how reality works, how this works. Like to answer the question of why negativity is here, why I keep getting it. Does anyone here feel like they go through periods of time, like long periods of time, or they're in one, where you keep repeating the same negative outcomes? You don't feel like that? Just constantly like, I'm trying, I'm doing things, but I feel unlucky. Does anyone feel unlucky sometimes? Where it's like, why is this shit kind of happening to me? I felt like that so many times. And the hardest thing about me is that I was always a hard worker. So I was like, this ain't matching up. Why do I work so hard, but why is things going so bad? Like if I didn't do that, I'd understand. I'd be like, I'm not doing the work. This is what it is. But I was. But there's more to it. It's more subtle. So I want you guys to imagine this. Yeah? Imagine you all sitting at a restaurant. You're at a restaurant, it's just you by yourself. You're at a table. And you have a designated waiter, just yours, for you only. And now this waiter, he's blind and deaf. It's weird, but he's blind and deaf, yeah? But his only way to communicate, he can't speak because he's blind and deaf, and he can't hear, so he can't communicate. His only form of communication is that it communicates through emotion. It feels emotion. So your waiter's job is to serve you food, just continuously bring you food, go back to the kitchen, bring you food, back to the kitchen, bring you food. And the way you react to your food that you eat, whether you like it or whether you don't, that's the only signal of communication that this waiter has. So it'll bring you out a plate of chicken, and you'll eat it. You'll be like, imagine you didn't like it. It was the worst thing ever. You reacted emotionally. It's like, oh my god, this is the worst food ever. Like, what the fuck is this? This is the worst. All that waiter feels And his is like, reaction. Go back to the kitchen, get more. That's his job. It doesn't care whether you reacted negatively, it doesn't matter if you reacted positively. His only job is go back to the kitchen, bring you more. So then a plate of food comes out that you like, a nice cake. Everyone likes cake. And you like it. You're like, oh my God, this is the best cake ever. I'm so grateful for this cake. This is the best cake I've ever had in my whole life. The waiter's gonna be like, emotion. Go back to the kitchen, bring you more. Repeatedly, over and over again. So the analogy is that the waiter is the universe and the food is the events in your life. That's how it works. So when events come into your life that you react poorly to, bring some more emotion. You create through emotion. Everything in your life you create through emotion, continuously. So if you're continuously going into fear and you fear every situation and you stress over every situation, the universe is like, bring her more. She wants more of that. He wants more of that. And you keep getting those same scenarios over and over and over again until you break the pattern and change the way you react to adversity. So then that would also mean if you want more positive things in your life, if you want to increase the events in your life that make you feel good, whether that be anything, like business-wise, career-wise, family-wise, anything whatsoever, then you react to that in a more positive way. But what do we do though? We learn through our lives to like be really humble, like never really celebrate our wins. You do something well, move on to the next, doesn't really matter. That's bullshit. But then when bad things happen, we're supposed to like, it's okay to not be okay. It's okay to be sad. So we magnify when things go wrong, but then when things go well for ourselves, we don't do anything. So if there's no reaction, then there's no reinforcing. You reinforce events in your life with emotion. So you get if you get bad events in your life and you react poorly and you give it all the emotion, you give it all the fear, then you get more of that. So it's come a habit of us talking about like finances here, but it's always a good example. Who understands when they get like a fine and it comes through the door, you're like, fuck, not another one. What happens? How do you feel? What emotions do you have? Disappointment, what else?
Rejection.
What's that?
That's a rejection. Reject is like...
Rejection, okay, yeah, resistance. Yeah. Resistance. Whatever you resist always persists. Whatever you resist always persists. That's the universal truth. The more you resist something, the more you get it. What else? Think about an emotion. Emotion we talk about here a lot. Guilt. Okay. Remorse. Still the one more I'm looking for. Think about it. A fine comes through your door. Maybe it's a big fine. No. There's another one. Most important one. Worry. Worry about what?
You gotta pay the bill. You gotta pay.
Yeah, good. But worry about what?
Worry about finance.
Yeah. So lack. You're worried about lack. And we spoke.
You're wasting money on that now because
Yeah, but immediately you think, I have a lack of. If you guys if everyone here had the most amount of money they ever wanted in the world and a fine come through the door, do you think you go to lack? You can go to lack 1 second. You'd be like, annoying, pay it. You just get it paid. So there's no reaction to it emotionally. So you don't reinforce it. Now, it's not to say that you're never gonna have any bad things come into your life, because as we said, you can't escape negativity, but you can reduce the amount that it comes into your life and you don't make it your whole reality by the way you react to it. So a lot of you guys might feel like your life is 70% negative and only 30% positive. But you can flip that around where it's 70% positive, 30% negative by just the way you react, by adversity. So everyone makes that mistake. We said mental, physical, spiritual, financial freedom, 10 mil on the first session that we did. Emotion, the way we want to feel abundant, because this goal that we had was abundant. So when everything comes into our life that tests us, it will say, okay, the universe will be like, okay, you want abundance. You want to be financially free. So it will put things in your life to test your frequency to see if you're really about it. Because if it tests you and you go straight to lack, then you're just reinforcing that you don't want that. So it's just tested you. That's why it's super important that you keep your frequency, and that's why we created that character creation. Because the higher form of you, your highest character, your highest self, that has everything you want. What did we just say? When that person gets a fine through the door, how does that person react? Not in lack. It's abundant, doesn't matter, doesn't care. So that's how you have to be. You have to live in that emotion, you have to live in that outcome in order to get that outcome. You can't be like, okay, I'm gonna feel abundant when I get abundance. That's not how it works. You have to be abundant first, then you get abundance. And guys, just understand, it's annoying, but negativity is just more powerful. So you got to be super conscious every single day. It's what we spoke about last week, being super conscious of everything you think about, because it is sticky, it sticks. Positivity is not that sticky. That's why it comes and goes very easy. Like you do something well, and by an hour later, you forgot about it. On to the next one. You just made a sale. Oh yeah, nice, buzzing. Then on to the next one. You forgot about it already. But negativity, how long do you guys hold on to a negative event? How long do you hold on to negative emotions? Days, weeks, years. When's the last time you hold on to a good thing in your life for years? Never. But trauma, fear, you guys we hold on to that forever. So that's what becomes our reality always. It determines outcomes. The more negativity you feel, the more fear you feel, the more the universe will bring you events and situations in your life that will make you fear. So the answer and what I'm getting at is that you guys have to be super conscious every single day and perceive life the way you want it to, the way you want to experience it. So if you want to experience it in positivity and joy and happiness majority of the time, that's where you have to be mentally every day. We get into this like idea that our future is created by something else other than the right here, right now. It's the only time it could ever be possibly created is now, because that's all we have. The future doesn't even exist. People think like everything's written for them, and you know, like at some point it will fix down this line. But you can't see it like that. You see it as like making a track, and the next 5 yards of this track isn't even built yet. So this next 5 seconds of what's gonna happen here hasn't been done yet. We're creating it now, like in this moment as I'm speaking. I'm creating the next 5 seconds. You're creating the next 5 seconds. You're creating the next year based on what you do now. So we have to be super conscious about everything. So in the morning, when you get up and you go to the gym, what's your thinking? What's your thought process? Is it of disappointment? Is it of anger and annoyance that you got to go and do it? What is it? Because how you're reacting and how your mindset is in that moment is what your reality is going to be. So you can look at people and how they react to things and how they live their daily life, and you can see what their reality is going to be like. You can see what it is now, and you can see what it's going to be like if they carry on that same trajectory. Unless you change, unless you become more conscious, unless you start making a decision. And most people don't make these decisions because they feel like they don't have the power to do so. They feel like they're just a victim, like things just happen to them. But it doesn't. That's the one thing anyone that ever crosses my path, all I want them to understand is the power that they have to create what they want to create. That's it. Most people don't. That's why they don't have the reality that they want. That's why they don't do the things they want. That's why they're not the person they want to be. Because they feel like it's created by something else, like some random thing, or it's just destined for them to be where they're at. So negativity is sticky. You got to avoid it all the time, and it sticks because it's more powerful, and people just magnetize towards it more. Now, it doesn't have to be sticky if you can learn and train your mind to not stick to it. It's you that sticks to it. It's you that makes it sticky. So when adversity hits throughout the whole day, whether your day is good or bad, you have to live consciously and really understand what it is you're choosing, what thoughts you're choosing. Everything you guys are after anyways. So we're talking about states and the importance of being in the right state. And people they won't be in the right state because they'll wait for something to happen for themselves first to put them in the right state. So I'll be in the right state when I have this. I'll be in the right state when I have this job. I'll be in the right state when I meet this person. But everything you're after is only a state anyways. Who's got a dream car here? And what a dream car? A car that they really want. What car is it?
1967
Mustang. Nice. But like, you gotta understand, okay, the car's nice, the car's beautiful, but you have to understand that the only reason why you want the car is because it's gonna give you a state. That you're gonna experience a state that you're not currently feeling now. So when you get it, it's the way it makes you feel is what you're after. Anyone have another goal? Someone give me a goal. Chris, what's your goal? Any goal, life goal. Getting married? You got a girlfriend?
He always says, I'm a married man.
Yeah,
He's not married. He's going dating someone else. So he's in that state already.
Oh, okay, good.
If you think of it,
Yeah, it's
you're already
Good.
in that state.
Everyone told Chris his goals.
Alright, now you answer the question.
Yeah. Any goal?
What's your goal?
It's in two. One is 2% body fat. One of the change is real estate portfolio.
Having a real estate portfolio. Okay, good. 10% body fat. Okay, good goal. But then you got to think, like, when you get that, why do you want it? It's only for that moment, bro, where you look in the mirror and you're like, fuck, I look good. And other people, they think you look good. It's because the state that it puts you in that state of achievement, of I feel good, I feel proud of myself, that the discipline I had to go through to get there, you feel proud of yourself. But you can also feel, you can get that same state by not being 10% body fat. If you went to the gym, like trained hard, push yourself physically, and you ate the right things, the two main things that it takes to get to 10% body fat, if you did that like today and every day for the next 7 days, even after the 7 days, you will be in a state of like that state that you want. Maybe not to the full extent, but you'll be like, yo, I just trained perfectly. I hit my nutrition perfectly. But even though you don't have the outcome, you have the state. And that's actually all you want. And then the way for you to get the outcome and have 10% body fat is you chase that state every day because that's what you want, because it made you feel so good. And you know to get that state, you have to go to the gym and you have to control your nutrition. So as a byproduct of you chasing the state rather than the actual outcome, you get to 10% body fat. Because it's just science, it has to. If you go gym and train every day and hit the nutrition, you're gonna get it. So that's what it is, you're after a state. And now I believe that there's people that have, naturally they have two states. They have a state that a negative state that is just kind of natural to them, that always latches onto them. And they have a positive state that most people want. Think about what yours is. What negative state do you guys tend to go to that you normally have to fight, that you don't like? And then what state do you look for? So the things that you want, so you want the car, it makes you feel a certain way. What is that state? And what else do you want? Is there anything else you want that also gives you that state that you want? Think about it for you guys. What state are you fighting and what state do you want? And even write it down. It's important for you guys to know this. To manifest what you want, this is like the two most important things you need to know. Think about it quick. Yes, Sam, what's yours?
I feel like I'm usually in a positive state.
Yeah. But okay, so what are your goals? Give me a life goal, any goal.
Money, maybe.
Money.
Yeah.
Okay. So what would that make you feel like? If you got it, like imagine yourself now, you getting it, let's say it's $1 million, for example. I always talk pounds. £1 million, for example. What state would that put you in? Imagine yourself, you just worked your ass off, you just got it. You closed the deal, whatever you did, you got $1 million. How would it make you feel?
Yeah, happy, rested, like.
But can you feel that emotion? If you imagine it right now, can you think about it?
Yeah.
Yeah. So what kind of like state does it make you feel?
Now, happy.
Happy.
Yeah.
But happy is kind of general. There's something underneath happy.
Like I've achieved something.
Okay, good, achievement. So you want to feel achieved. What's the negative one that you normally feel?
The opposite, that I haven't achieved anything.
Okay, so underachievement, like not being valuable.
Yeah.
Perfect. So like, so with, has anyone got the same? The same two? Has anyone got anything different? Everyone's got the same thing. Exactly the same as your son. No one's got anything different.
Accomplished and proud.
Accomplished and proud. What's the negative?
Negative. Of when I receive, like of when I get something.
No, just like, do you know when the times you don't feel good about yourself for whatever reason?
Yeah.
What is it usually? What feeling is it usually?
Stuck.
Stuck.
Yeah. Disappointment.
Disappointment.
What I should have done.
Okay.
Not achieved it.
Yeah. Okay, good. For most people, it's going to be that. It's going to be they want to feel achieved, and they want to feel, and then the negative state is like unachieved. They're not doing what they're supposed to do. They're not where they want to be. Yeah. Mine was achievement. I want to feel like I've made big impact. I want to feel like I've done something significant, and then mine underneath that would be like doubt whether I can do it. That's the one I fight. So I have to continuously give myself evidence of why I can, or otherwise I'll be in that state. And the more I'm in that state, then I'm never going to get to the position of physically doing the things that put me in a state of achievement. I can feel achieved, but to actually physically materialize it into something, be like, look what I've done, right? So for me, we play in the Premier League, that put me there. I was like, look what I've done, type thing. But then you got to understand, you can have the goal and not be in the right state. So when I got there, I didn't even feel that achieved. Why? Because these states are practiced. You have to feel achieved every single day. It's the way you perceive life. If you went through your whole career feeling unachieved, but then you get to where you want to go, you really think you're going to feel achieved for that long? Because you practice it. Your natural state is you being underachieved, no matter what physically happens. So that's why it's always practiced in the small things. That's why you have to live in the state now. You've got to find that state now. Avoid the negative one, your go-to. Be aware of that, of what it is, and you have to live in the positive outcome that you want. And that's the quickest way to get the Mustang. If you want the Mustang to give you the state, then you have to be in that state as often as you possibly can. And then the world will reinforce, you'll reinforce that to the world, and the world will give you more of the things that put you in that state. And if you're thinking about a Mustang all the time, then it's going to be a Mustang. It's going to be the capability for you to go and get one. Just like how it was with Chris. It would make him do the work to get to the 10% body fat, because he was after the state. If your state is achievement, then what you're going to do every single day, you're going to do work that it takes to feel achieved. So every day you're going to be like, I love this feeling of achievement. I'm going to keep going for it every single day to get to the point where you've done the right work, and now through your chasing of achievement, and you felt achieved every day, you've done a whole bunch of work, and you've created it for yourself. So that's what that is. You're after the state, know what yours is, and go for it every single day. Now, the biggest problem is that people just latch onto the negative side. So that's why they create all the things that they don't want, because they chase the feeling, they have the feeling of fear every day and of doubt. But you have to flip it. You have to flip it. You have to go for the state that you want every day. Like, you should be going from, people always say they have bad weeks, or who feel like they have bad weeks? Bad months.
Yeah.
It's too long. It's way too long. You have bad moments, that's it. It should only be bad moments.
I think what I've learned is that you have a bad moment and you experience it, but then let it go straight away. Don't hold on to it.
Yes, exactly.
Otherwise, that bad moment, if you can't, watch a comedy. I always do that. I'll go watch something funny and get my mind off it. Sometimes you have to experience that bad state to move on, but
it's a law of polarity.
Linger. A few minutes, right?
That's what it is. Yeah. Because the word you use is perfect, experience. That's all you can do. Because we all agree now, when we understand, we can't escape it. So all you can do is experience it.
Experience it, but don't hold on to it. Move on.
Yeah. So that's how you deal with it. You don't deal with it by holding on to it. Because what you hold on to and what you focus on becomes your reality. And if you want more things that make you fearful and doubtful, then hold on to it. And then that's what it creates. And when you do that, when you do hold on to it and you react to it not in the right way, then it stays in your life longer than it intended to stay. It was only here, God only put negativity in your life so you can experience it, so then you can experience what you want through contrast. But what we do, God puts it in our way and we feel like this is supposed to be our whole life. And we make it our whole identity and our whole week and our whole month. But it was supposed to just be there for a moment. So every single moment you have the choice again to refocus and re-choose the reality that you want based on what you think and what you feel. So now understanding what yours is, the best way to stay away from the ones you don't want and go towards the ones you do want is always going to be the frequency that you operate in. When you're high frequency, when you're in that state of high frequency, that's when you feel the one that you do want. That's when you feel the achievement, when you get into high frequency. So you go to the gym in the morning, you push yourself physically, high frequency. I feel achieved. I wake up this morning and I looked after my health. High frequency. So now that aligns you to the Mustang. Because when you get the Mustang, you're going to be in high frequency. You're going to feel achieved. Same state. Going to the gym, achievement. Doing the work you need to do every day, achievement. Leading your team, achievement. Getting the Mustang, achievement. It's the same. So that becomes sticky. Achievement becomes sticky. So then you start achieving everything. And then it's going to be the habits that you do. The habits is what puts you into high frequency states.
But I think sometimes there are, let's say, some things that are easily achievable and some things that are difficult to achieve.
Yeah.
So for example, let's say, for example, financial goals, let's say, over time. That's something that, let's say, is something more achievable to a person. And then when it comes to, for example, an emotional goal, where you want to reach a certain extent of, comfort with yourself or whatever, for example, that becomes a bit more hard to achieve. So I don't know if there are things, for example, that if there's a contrast in those things, or is it, for example, that you have to do the same thing with those two, or you have to try a different method? Because some things work and some things don't. So I don't know why this happens.
You mean some habits make you feel good and some don't?
No, so for some goals, right? Some goals you can achieve.
Yeah.
I know, for example, let's say if you have a certain state of mind, But that state of mind works on specific goals, but doesn't work on other goals. Does that make sense?
No.
That,
Go on, try again. Try one more time. I'm trying to understand it.
so for example, let's
And try give me a real like a scenario,
okay.
if you can.
So for example, let's say if my goal is to buy my dream car, let's
Yes.
say that goal for me is easily achievable. While for example, me changing jobs, let's say, I'm not changing jobs.
Yeah.
But let's say for example, that's where you get a bit more stuck. Is it because something internally is stopping me,
Understand.
or what?
Yeah. So why do you find certain goals harder than the other, even though one might be harder than the other? You mean?
Yeah, exactly. One might be harder than the other. Exactly.
Yeah.
Even though I have that state of mind, let's say, you know, where.
Yeah, but it's possible. It's possible if you have a certain belief system towards one thing, it doesn't mean you have that same belief system towards something else. So you could be abundant in one area and have lack in another area. That's how you get a rich guy with poor health, because his belief systems don't allow him to look after himself, but his belief systems allow him to create financial freedom. So that's why the character creation is important, because it's everything. Because we understand we want everything. We don't just want one thing. We don't just want a car, but working in a job that we don't want.
Yeah.
So you can work in a job that you don't want and get paid really well and have your car. But you know we don't want that. You want the car and you want the job that you like. You want both. So your belief systems around everything is what's important, rather than just one thing. Yeah?
Yeah.
So that's the habits. So I wanted to talk with you guys probably maybe next week on about creating habits, about creating processes and systems. It sounds fancy, but it's not. Systems for me just means a collective of habits that we do every day. So, okay, we want to go from feeling fearful and feeling doubtful all the time, feeling like you're unachieved all the time, because we know if we feel that all the time, then that's the reality that we're going to create. No matter what we get, we're always going to feel underachieved and feel doubtful and see life through the lens of fear. So then you create a daily system where it's like, what makes you feel good? What makes you feel achieved? And how many of them things can we do every single day to just skyrocket our self-confidence, skyrocket our self-love? So how many things? Waking up early is one, going to the gym is one, spending time with family, spending time with kids is one, treating your partners right, coming into the office, treating everybody else right, doing the work you need to do, getting through your to-do list. All those things make you feel achievement. So you want to go through your whole day just like hitting achievement after achievement, bang, bang, bang. So you go for the whole day in that state, because you know if you just spent the last 24 hours in that state, then you're reinforcing what you want. You're reinforcing that you want more achievement. So synchronization starts happening. You will start seeing things in your life coming into your life that allows you and give you another opportunity to feel achieved. It's crazy how it works. All the things you want will start finding you. You don't even have to go and chase them. And then remember that feeling. So when there's times where you're like, be honest, like if you guys felt like shit, don't answer, don't say yeah. But who felt good today after the gym? Like after the gym when you've done the work? Did anyone feel good? Like good, I'm glad I went. Yeah? You felt good? Now there's gonna be times again, maybe next week, where you're gonna wake up at 5 a.m. again, and you're gonna be like, shit, I have to go to the gym again. You gotta remember that feeling that you had after the gym. Because again, your focus on the things you don't wanna feel, on the lack of motivation, on being lazy, on being comfortable, but that's not aligned to where you want to go. Where you want to go is getting that state that you had after the gym. So you focus on that. You have to remember that feeling. Stop remembering all the feelings of fear and all the feelings of doubt and discomfort and comfort. You want to remember the feelings of the things that are aligned to create what you want to create. Always remember that. Every time I get up, and I have to get up, alarm goes off, 4 a.m. I don't want to get up, never. But I just remember the feeling I'm gonna get halfway through the gym session of, okay, I feel great now. My doubt is gone, now I feel great. When I'm brushing my teeth, there's just doubt all the time. Oh, I can't do this, can't do that. But I know halfway through that session, or just after, or after my first coaching call, maximum, I'm gonna feel achieved again. And I go for that state every single time. Then I do that, I hit that, I'm like, then I know around 2 p.m. when I've done a certain amount of work, bang, I hit that achievement again. Constantly chasing that achievement, tunnel vision on only that. As within, as without, as above, so below. It means whatever you create mentally, you create physically. Your physical world is a straight reflection of your internal world. So how often can we remember the feeling? And the feeling is remembered by the heart. People think that you got the best memory in your brain. Your best memory is in your heart. That's why people say, I know this song off by heart. Remember the feeling and chase it every single day, and everything changes. Thank you guys. Any questions, by the way? Any questions? No? Good. Well done, guys. You reached the end of the video, which shows me that you are the real soldiers. You're really fighting that water self-mastery, and it's all that you want and all you obsess about. So look, I want to give you my personal number to connect with me, whether it's for coaching information or it's just to ask me a question and just to reach out for some help. So you can message me on 054-394-9393. That's 054-394-9393. Area code is +71. It's a Dubai number. So guys, look forward to hearing from you.